welcome back, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, Googlers, YouTubers, on the liners. All right. So, this is a tablet that came in for a USB port replacement, and it has a daughter board that the USB port's on. And often getting them, I've never been able to find a source for them new. So, what I did was I made a USB port out of one that was close. But you can see that there's one problem, that the tablet does not quite close up. There's always going to be a gap there just because of the thickness difference. And I made it as close as I could. Now, let me show you this daughter board that I'm talking about. We'll try and pop this open, expedite this process, hopefully. It is turning on. You know what? We're just going to go ahead and pop our battery loose. We don't want anything turning on while we're working, so fair enough, it's off. Here is the daughter board that I was talking about. Now, you can find these used all over eBay. However, we don't want a used daughter board, so what we want is a new port. And the used port that I'd pulled off of another device and had to get files out and a knife and cut it and pliers and bend it. The port fits, and it fit pretty good, but it can fit better. You can get these daughter boards used all over eBay, like I said. The closest, I've never been able to find a direct, just micro USB port replacement. The closest I've ever been able to come is getting these ones for a Lenovo tablet. They do have the 5 small micro pins compared to other older micro USB ports. We'll move those screws out of the way. So maybe you can tell a bit of a difference. Let's zoom out. So you can see this one here is close, but yeah, I made it. And what it does is it doesn't set far enough through the board to let the tablet snap back together the whole way. So now that we have the new port that's going to set through and has the right depth on it, let me show you this. Has the right depth right here. See that depth? We can go ahead and solder this one in place. Okay, so we have something with a little weight that is holding our board. So now we can go ahead, apply some hot air, and we're just going to lift this port right off of there. We should be able to just take and grab here and lift it right off. And then apply the new port and see how our fitment is. Go ahead and grab some hot air. Lifting this port. We have more hot air now. That's exactly what we wanted. We need to get in here and lift this port off this board. The right nozzle for the right job. They're the same thickness for the cord to the charger to plug in. However, the one just has those little bumps sticking up that make it that thick, and that's the difference. You can see, yes, the tweezers are bent a little, but this one has that double plate on top. We don't need that double plate. This one just has a couple little bumps there, and this is going to be a lot closer fit to what we need. Let's go ahead and get this old port out of the way. And there you can see, well, let's flip it over and take a closer look. It's not perfect, but you can see where I filed away and took and bent the pins down to give it the correct depth to fit on the board. And then I had to fold these edges over at a different side to bend them out straight and fold them over. It's an interesting video. Anybody that wants to see the original video, leave me some comments. If I get enough comments about me making this USB port, I'll upload the video. As I said, I've never found a direct port replacement, but making a port and just trimming little corners off is two entirely different things. So let's go ahead and do that right now. It should be about in place. Let's check it with our board. And as I said, this daughter board here, you can find it used all over the place. What you are not going to find is a new one. I mean, maybe you will. Maybe I just didn't search long or hard enough, but I could never find one, so I gave up, and this is the solution for this brand of Onn Tablet. You can see the other one had a bigger space, and there was no room for this daughter board to be screwed into place or anything. It was gapped out a little bit. So we're gonna see what we can do with this port here. If it will focus and not on the table. There it goes. Brand new port instead of a used one, and one that we had to file. Let's connect our back pins and be done with this. All right, let's grab our wick and take our iron in. As I said, we just need a little bit off of this leg to let it sit into the housing a little better. And we're anchored down. Let's go ahead and connect these back pins. Get some solder on there. That'll be good. Let's apply a little flux. One gigaball. I guess that would be a nano ball. Figure it out. I'm not good with the measurements on these things. We're gonna get a little blob solder on our iron and go in. And there's a number of that board if anybody wants to look for it. And drag solder, and we're gonna try and drag that little bit of solder off of there. It's my PA and a swab or two. We want to clean this area up a little. Piece. Looks like we have a little flux on this side, so we'll go ahead and let's check these pins quick while we're here. Give the little nudge test. Did that one move? That might have moved. Let's get down in there and take a look. Are we bridged? That's the main other point of focus. No, we're not. Okay, not bridged. Not moving. You got it. Thank you, Sony. Hold our tablet. Let's zoom this in somewhat. we're going to make sure our latch is lifted and then connect right on to the ribbon cable. Once it's on, we will flip our latch down, and then we're going to go for putting this in place right here. Finally, first things first, we're going to take a moment and connect our battery here. Tell me I got did I get the pins crooked? The important aspect of this little exercise, as with any time you do an electrical charge port on a device, you need to plug in and see if what you did mattered. Let's go ahead and plug in our micro port. All right, we're getting a charge with it plugged in. That's good news. It's at 95%. It was dead, stone dead when it came in, but we know it now charges. And let's put our buttons back in place. Try and get them clipped in. They have this little area that they kind of just snap behind and sit there. There and there. All right, and the important part, there's two differences from the port I made to this port. We want to make sure, one, that it charges with it in the case. Indeed it does. So that's a good, or with the back on, it does charge. So this port didn't really stick out into the case as much, and the factory one was longer from front to back. Like the metal part that, not the pin side, but this side, stuck out into the back of the case a little bit. These replacement ones that I found that I use for Lenovo tablets do not, but they are in the right spot to plug in and charge. So you can't beat that. It's either you buy one of these and swap the micro USB port, or you take and buy a used little daughter board, charge board to charge your tablet. Okay, so not a huge journey, but this came in with a broken charging port a little bit back, and to get it fixed, I pulled this off of an old Kindle tablet or something resembling a Kindle Fire, and I had to get out the tiny little files to clear the plastic away and bend pins, and then rebend these outer ones. And it was doubled up. It had a double plate, as you saw on top, that made it near impossible to. We don't need that for the case to snap closed. Our case does snap closed now. I want to jerk on the port and re-break it. But our case is 100% closed right around that area there where it was popped open. Not bad for making a port, but it was a used port. Would it have failed? Probably not for a while, but still, I sold them the service of a new port and just got their tablet back to them with a makeshift used modified old port. Anyhow, if you're new here, my name's Nick. I try to fix a lot of different things regularly. It's what I do for, a hobby, pastime, employment, and yeah, thanks for clicking the link, coming over, hanging out. If I can talk long enough to see this rise up another percentage, that will be quite amazing. Yeah, if you see something you like, share it. Subscribe if you're not already. Ring that bell if you want to be notified when I upload whatever weird ass content that it might be that I'm working on next. And if you have the opportunity to take some junk, uh, you know, take something that was non-functioning and pull a part off of it to get something functioning, even if for a short time till your new replacement part arrives, go ahead and do it. You learn all kinds of neat stuff. I can recommend it. with cheapo tools or expensive tools, you can get pretty good results, at least with doing simple ports like that and everything. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out and fixing or replacing the replacement used port with me today. We will see you next time, everybody.